Okay.
JD is most definitely probably my most accelerated student. JD came to me, 2 years ago? Maybe we met about 2 years ago.
November 12.
Came November
11.
Okay. November of 11. At the Southern Maryland Real Estate Investors Group, we met through Ron Pickerel, and JD lives down in Lusby, and JD came to me with a real fire in his belly that he still has to this day, and I've got a number of other really successful students, but JD is just one of the guys who has just clearly risen to the top. JD is just an action taker. I don't know when the guy sleeps because he seems to accomplish everything. And he definitely implements the whole speed of implementation idea, which says don't think about it, just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do it. And that's JD.
I was actually involved in a coaching program when I met Steve. Funny story, I don't know how many of you guys knew Ron Pickerel, but I was sitting at a card game with him one night, and you'll soon find out I'm a big gambler as well. One of my passions that I haven't done for years now. But I was sitting in a card game, didn't know Ron from Adam. I don't even know how I ended up at this house playing cards. And we'd played cards together probably about 5 or 6 hours. And some guy got up about 2 o'clock in the morning. He was getting ready to leave, and he was walking out, and he turns around and he goes, "Hey Ron, how'd that last flip go for you, by the way?" And I was all into, I couldn't find anybody. I'd been looking for people all over the place, especially in Calvert County. They keep things very close to their hip. Nobody wants you to know what they're doing and how they're making their money over there. I don't know if it's any different over here. Steve will always say, just talk to them, call them. You can do that over there all you want. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody's going to tell you anything. So to hear that, I immediately got up out of my chair, grabbed all my chips, went over, sat by Ron and said, "Hey, my name's J.D. Wentz, how are you?" And we sat there till 6 in the morning talking about flipping, and I told Ron, what I'd been through and how I was scared to take that leap is what was wrong with me. All the money in the world won't help you if you're afraid to do something. And so I started going to the play to REI and met Steve for the first time, and we had talked, and I had probably about 4 or 5 months left on my contract with the coach I was with, and so I just went every month, talked a lot, asked a lot of questions, and then finally got about a month out, and I told Steve I wanted to join his group. And there's a slight misconception there, and a lot of people always tell me, and they always come up to me because I did my first deal, I think 3 days after joining Steve, which is a phenomenal story in itself, but nobody realized what I had on the back end. I needed that person looking over my shoulder, make sure I was doing everything right. And what I liked about his program and what attracted me to it was it's the one-on-one, it's the personal. We're all right here. We all go through the same thing. There is a lot that is left to be explained. There's a lot of times, and I even would get frustrated with Steve in the beginning because he would just give me little tidbits. I'd ask questions, and I'd take 15 minutes telling him my story and what's going on, and get this question. He'd say, "Just go do this," and then hang up the phone. And I'm like, well, that didn't help me. But it's amazing. All you need is that little spark to just go do something, and it's so much more about it just putting things to action. And I learned real quick that he wasn't coming over and holding my hand and doing stuff for me, and that I had to go do it. And all it took was that little nugget of knowledge to just, and you learn like that. You get you going on that trail, and you just start going through it. And so that's what we try to do as far as the coaching, and it works really well.